A while back on this channel, I reviewed the Doobie Brothers breakout album, Toulouse Street. It was just okay. It had some good, even some great songs, but much of the album was mediocre. The hits helped the album scrape by with a decent rating, however, it wasn't great. Their next album, however, wasn't just an improvement, it's downright good. Borderline great even, in my opinion at least. Hello and welcome back to the so-called Doobie Marathon, where I took a look at the Doobie Brothers album starting with their breakout one. It's been some time, but here we are. In this video, I'm going to show off potentially the Brothers' strongest outing to this day. Let's get started. I'm going to try something a little different, a different approach. Rather than going track by track, I'm just going to share my thoughts on the whole album, whilst pointing out some good and bad tracks, if there are any. While the last album was kind of a generic folk rock and blues rock fare, this album has a different blend of genres. You get your standard rock fares like Natural Thing and China Grove, but also country rock, and a bit of blues rock as well. And unlike Toulouse Street, where some of the lesser songs felt like a cheap imitation of other bands, many of the songs here have a unique feel. For example, Dark-Eyed Cajun Woman is a blues rock song, but they say it's supposed to kind of be like a B.B. King song, but I found it had a whole different feel entirely, honestly. Maybe it's just a production, but I don't know. But it feels like a very distinct and unique song. Songwriting has also improved in my opinion, especially with Patrick Simmons. 2 of his 3 songs are actually really, really great. South City Midnight Lady is the obvious one, having wonderful instrumental parts and a pretty relaxing vibe, but the bigger one to me is Clear as Driven Snow. I used to not really like it that much, but it has really grown on me. The start sounds like a much, much better version to the title track of Toulouse Street. It turns into a medley with several different sounding pieces, and the harmonies are great too. I like both of these tracks tremendously, with South City Midnight Lady being among my favorite on the album. I also feel like Johnston has improved too. The first 4 tracks are all written by him, and they are all either good or great. They feel less cookie cutter than his hits on Toulouse Street. China Grove and Long Train Run and follow that formula, kind of. But Natural Thing and Dark-Eyed Cajun Woman do not. And the latter 2 are stronger than some of his songs on Toulouse Street. There's only one song I can label as forgettable, and that is the 49-second ditty that is, well, forgettable. So forgettable that I forgot the name of it. I also think that the song Without You, while decent enough, runs a bit too long, honestly. I wish it ended at the fake-out point. I'm also not a fan of how the vocals sound in this song. Apparently it was supposed to kind of sound like the band The Who, but it really doesn't in my opinion. That being said, if I haven't made it clear enough already, this album is a huge improvement over Toulouse Street. It goes from being just fine to actually really good. Borderline great, even. If I were to rate it, I'd put it at about an 8. The consensus of this album appears to be it is their strongest, and my source for this is Rate Your Music, where it scores a 3.63 out of 5 at the time of writing. It may not sound like that great of a rating, but, I mean, that seems to be the threshold for at least a good album on there. Especially when you notice, like, more popular bands like Aerosmith have 0 albums this rating. They're all below this rating. I know, apples to oranges. I seem to put this album in higher regard than most people, but it still seems to be a well-liked album among the people who know about it. And with that, I think I can conclude today's video. If you enjoyed it, I would appreciate a like. And if you enjoyed my channel, a subscription would be nice too. Comment down below your thoughts on this album. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.